Good morning. My name is Kristen, and welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. Today, I am leading the meditation, and I am so glad you're here. Allow yourself to sit back, relax, and be guided into a space of relaxation and deep creation. Finding your comfort wherever you are, wiggling your toes, wiggling your butt, perhaps shaking your shoulders for a minute. Loosen up, begin to release the extra tension, the extra stress, the extra concerns that you may have gathered through the week. Inhale with me and bring your shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, drop your shoulders down and shake them one more time. Again, inhaling, shoulders up. And exhaling, shoulders down. And one more time, inhaling, shoulders up. And shoulders down. Good. Continuing to inhale and exhale at your own pace, bringing your attention back to your breath if you find yourself wandering away. Today, bring your attention into the space where you're at, to your chair, to the room. Notice the comforts that you have as you continue to breathe. Notice where the softness is. Notice the textures around you. You might even reach your hand out and perhaps feel the softness with your fingertips. Feeling, letting it in, inhaling and exhaling. Feeling the warmth or the temperature of the air around you. Allowing yourself to be grateful for the temperature, whatever it is. If it's warm, if it's cool, allow it to be so. Good. Bringing your attention into your body, bringing it into the center of your head. The center of your head, that space that is equidistant between front and back, top and bottom, left and right. Bringing your attention into the center of your head, that space of neutrality. And in the space in the center of your head, allow yourself to stretch, to breathe, to spread out. Let this space become a room that accommodates you and is only for you. In this room, let yourself have the perfect scent, the perfect feel, the perfect temperature. This room in the center of your head gets to be the space, the ideal space for you. And as you breathe in, imagine that every time you breathe in, you bring in more goodness that supports you. And as you are supported, all that is around you is supported. And every time you exhale out a worry, an anxiety, a stress. In this room, you do not need to hold on to those things. This room is for you to rest, absorb the goodness, bring in the goodness, and to release anything that's not supporting you in this moment, to feel relaxed, at ease, and connected with your creative self. In this room, allow yourself to become connected to that which is in you that makes you, you. Let come to mind your special talents, your special skills. And in this moment, I invite you to place your hands on your heart. Because our special skills do not originate in our minds. Perhaps they do not even originate in our hearts. But placing our hands on our hearts keeps us connected to that something deeper, something grander, something beyond ourselves, but connected from within ourselves. So take the next few minutes to feel the warmth under your hands, to feel the beating of that ever-present organ, and to invite in the consciousness of your special skills, what you offer in this world, your light. Continuing to inhale and exhale. Please enjoy a few minutes of listening to the music and feeling, knowing what is only yours to share. What is coming for you? What are you feeling? What are you noticing? Do you feel the warmth under your hands? Then you are noticing warmth. Do you feel the softness of your clothing or buttons or zippers? Perfect. Inhaling And exhaling, bringing the knowingness from your heart into your mind. And allowing the knowingness from your mind to go down to the heart. So good. And now take one hand from your heart and put it on your pelvis. You can put it on a hip. You can put it on the front of your pelvis. And imagine the goodness from your mind dropping down to your heart and then dropping down into your pelvis. That pelvis that is a creative center. Pelvis that connects to the legs to keep us moving, to help us move, to do the things we're here to do, to be the people we're here to be. And from the pelvis, imagine it sends messages back to the heart. And we breathe. And the heart sends information to the head. And we breathe. Perfect. It is a continuum to be a human, to be animated by spirit. So good. So fortunate. This consciousness that moves and loves this body. So settling one more time, feeling into the space of your body, the space at the center of your head, gazing around that room that you created with the perfect scent, the perfect sounds, perfect temperature, and allowing the consciousness of that room to always be with you, because it is. And bringing your attention back into the space of the environment you're currently in, your chair, your couch, wherever you are, feeling the fabric, feeling the air temperature, allowing yourself to feel gratitude for what you do have in this moment. As you inhale and exhale. Begin to wiggle your shoulders. Move your hips. Crunch and uncrunch your toes. And allow a smile to come to your face. Thank you for joining me today for meditation here at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. I'll see you again soon.
morning, and welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Joanie Bauman, and I'm a CCSL licensed practitioner. I'll be giving you the announcements today. Everyone's invited to the Zoom Sunday celebration, and our services will be live streamed to our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL. Please feel free to share our service from our YouTube channel to your own Facebook page. And for everyone on Zoom with us today, please feel free to turn on your video so we can see each other, but please keep yourself muted. Thank you. Everyone is invited to join us for our next Open Hearts Open Mic on Friday, March 12th from 7 to 9 p.m. via Zoom. Watch for your upcoming CCSL Weekly Word e-newsletter for the Zoom link. You can also find the link on our Facebook page. Would you like to share your amazing talents in an upcoming Open Hearts Open Mic? We'd love to have you. Please contact Jim Hetzer at jahetzer@sbcglobal.net. Please join us for our new monthly CCSL community meetings that will take place the second Sunday of each month. Our next meeting will take place on Sunday, March 14th at 12 p.m. There will be a variety of topics covered each month, and everyone will have an opportunity to join in for a Q&A segment. This meeting will not be broadcast on YouTube, just on Zoom, so you can join the meeting using the same Zoom link as Meditation Sunday Celebration. We now have a suggestion box that you can send your ideas, feedback, and any other information you'd like to share. Email them to ccslsuggestionbox@gmail.com. Your feedback and suggestions are always welcomed and appreciated. You are the face of God. Help us share shining smiles, sparkling eyes, and the community's faces, mask or no mask, and we will show this in our Sunday celebration. Please send us a picture of yourself and send your pictures to robin@spirituallivingcolumbus.org so we can share the faces of God in our virtual Sunday celebration. If you would like prayer after service or anytime throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our website. That's the news for today. Let's all sing our opening song.
Thank you, Carisa. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Rev Ami Papadopulo, and it is my honor to welcome you this morning. We are an inclusive organization, and no matter where you are on your spiritual or human journey, you are welcome here. Thank you for joining us today. If you're joining us on Zoom, thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel, Columbus CSL. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and remember to give it a thumbs up and to ring the bell. Glad you're here this morning. So now, would you please read our mission statement along with me? We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community, using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. Thank you. And I'd also like to thank practitioner Kristen Peairs for the beautiful meditation this morning. And she's also holding virtual high watch for our service today. And now I'd like to reintroduce practitioner Joanie Bauman. Joanie?
We now begin our sacred service. I would like to introduce our community member, Carisa Holmes, who will be giving us the reading this morning. Carisa?
Thank you, Joanie. A reading from Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, the Definitive Edition. Within this infinite mind, each individual exists. We are not separated from life, neither is it separated from us, but we are separate entities in it, individualized centers of God consciousness. And now we'll let the music take us within for a few moments. May your days be bright. May your heart be light. May your every moment be filled with delight. May you be blessed. May you be blessed. May you be blessed. May you be blessed. May the ever shining light your way.
And as we contemplate these beautiful words, may you be blessed, I'm conscious of the blessing of Spirit's great and infinite mind. Spirit is all intelligence, all knowledge, and all wisdom, providing guidance and inspiration. Spirit is the source of all creative thought and action. As we are one with Source, this powerful intelligence and insight of the One is present in me and present in all who gather here today. I claim that Spirit reveals itself to us today, and we are inspired by its presence. There are great things evolving in our lives right now, and we are filled with confidence and strength. And I know that this service continues to inspire and embolden us with the knowledge that we have all the talents and all the skills to do great in the world. I release this understanding of our truth into the law, knowing that it is already done, with a grateful heart for our creativity and all that we share with the world. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
May you be blessed. 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 May you be blessed.
Thank you, Carissa. So lovely when you all are here. So grateful. So good morning. My name, as I said, is Rev Ami Papadopulo, and it's my honor to give you the talk this morning here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. So as we begin today, I want to ask you a question. My question for you is, why are you here? Why are you here tuning in with us on this Sunday morning? I'm grateful that you're here. We're all grateful that you're here. And I really am grateful that you're choosing to spend this time this morning with us. But I really want you to just take a minute and think about that question. Why am I here tuning into CCSL this morning? There are many other places you could be. Well, maybe not places since it is COVID, but there are many other things you could be doing, and places too, wearing a mask. But there are other things you could be doing, but you're not. You're here. So why are you here? Is there a question that you want answered? Is there an itch you want scratched? Is there something that you want? Is there a desire to be fulfilled? Or are you just here to celebrate? So I'm just going to take a minute and ask you to pay attention to your desire, to your why. So if you have a really good, clear idea of why you're here, I'm going to ask you to put it in the chat. If you're here on Zoom with us, take a moment, put it in the chat. Why are you here? And if you're watching us on YouTube, put it in the comments. And we have a moderator, Matt, who is going to help me here and gather that information. And if you're watching it later on Facebook, put it in the comments on Facebook, or even if you're watching it after we do this live, put a comment in there. Now, as I give this talk this morning, I can't see the chat, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it after service. So I'm interested too that when you put whatever your intention here is this morning, you can also you can test it out. You can play with it. Is spirit going to respond to that this morning by you showing up here? Is spirit going to answer that question that you have, or that itch, or that desire? So we'll just kind of play with that. We'll come back to it at the end of the talk. So continuing on with February's theme, which is one journey, many paths. Our theme for today is one mind, infinite connections. And I want to start with our what we believe statements. These are our principles. These are our guiding principles that were developed and written down by our founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. So one of our guiding principles, one of our we believe statements is this: we believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I love this particular one, this particular principle. And I like that very last statement. Let's look at it again. We believe that God is personal to all who feel the indwelling presence, because this is where we find God. We find God in the indwelling place within us. And it also, as it says here, and also the highest God, the God that is beyond this, what we can see and what we can experience. God is this and yet more. The infinite that our finite mind and senses cannot understand or experience. But that's that panentheism, that God created us and is beyond. So when we think about this divine within us, we move from thinking about the divine, or about God or Buddha or Allah, whatever you want to call it. When we move from thinking about the divine to feeling it, to having it, an experience of it in our bodies, like Kristen talked about in her meditation today, in the body. When we move from head to heart and we have an experience, a transcendent experience, maybe not a transcendent experience, but just an experience. When you have that deep personal experience of the divine, that's a mystical experience. And those mystical experiences don't have to be something grandiose or big or huge. It can just be a welling up of love. It could be that place where, like right now, I'm getting goosebumps. It could be that place where you know that you know that you know that God is, as much as you know that you are. That is that mystical experience. And this mystical experience transcends any one religion. All religions have examples and teachings of mysticism within them. It transcends any one path or one religion or any tradition. And within this mystical path, within all of these religions, sometimes we talk about it as a metaphor for a mountain. That there are many paths around the mountain. And sometimes we talk about the mountain as the metaphor of, doesn't matter which path you're on, the Christian path, the New Thought path, which is what we are, the Buddhist path, any of them, the Wiccan path, it's all the same path. It's all the same mountain with different paths. It's all the same. It's all the same thing. It's all the same journey, the journey to the same place, which is within, to that one God, that one spirit. Now, different paths can look different, of course. And really, there is no wrong path. There is no wrong path. They're just all different. Now, excuse me while I I'm going to mute someone here on Zoom. So when people ask me what religion I am, or what religion do I practice, and I say I practice science of mind, or what we used to call religious science. Usually I say religious science just because it's more habitual. We kind of we changed the name about, gosh, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. I say I practice science of mind. And I often, and they go, oh, what's that? Is that Scientology? And I lived and did a lot of my training on the West Coast, which Scientology was more prevalent out there. And my answer to them, I used to say, well, no, because Scientology is this and religious science is this. But what I say now, which feels more accurate to me, is it is not Scientology. And if they say, well, is it similar? I say, I don't know, because I don't really know what Scientology believes or teaches. So I say that I practice religious science. And I also often use this metaphor for many paths around the mountain or to the top. And sometimes people say, oh my gosh, I completely agree. And sometimes they'll say, I'll pray for you. And I say, thank you. So our home office, we are a global organization, and our home office is in Denver. And I'm sorry, Golden, Colorado. We're called the Centers for Spiritual Living, and we have a vision. And a vision is different than a mission. Your vision is something that's big. It almost feels a little bit unattainable because that vision is so big. And at Centers for Spiritual Living, we have what's called the Global Heart Vision. And this vision, we envision a world that works for everyone. Now, this vision is possible because our belief in this one mind, in this one God, our belief in the one mountain. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of life. We envision a world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom. And remember, we talked about that at the beginning, the principle of the innermost, the highest most God and the innermost God are one in the indwelling presence. That's why that's possible. So as we awaken to that spiritual wisdom that's within us, we live from that place. We also see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with his or hers or their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively we're called to a high state of consciousness and action. So in Centers for Spiritual Living, we're about this big mission. We're about the awakening of humanity to its spiritual magnificence. That's what we practice. That's what we teach. And we also teach and practice that here in our community in Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. Here, in all centers for spiritual living, we are what we like to say awakened spiritual communities. We're dedicated to this vision of the global heart. And it's the intention to transform people's lives based on the principles and the teachings of science of mind. And this idea of the global heart vision, a world that works for everyone, this is where poverty and hunger and homelessness and disenfranchisement and war no longer prevail, but instead where forgiveness and compassion and nonviolence, respect, appreciation of beauty, and the generous sharing of resources where that is the norm. So if that's something that's interesting to you, if you find yourself responding to that within your body, if you're finding, yes, that's why I'm here, yes, that's what I want, you are in the right place. And if you have friends who you know want this same thing or on this path, invite them to our community. Invite them to one of our Sunday celebrations, or invite them to Open Heart Open Mic, which is Friday night. That's Friday night, and it's open to anyone who wants to share their creativity, whether it is in song or poetry, or there's lots of ways to do that. Trying to get the word about our community out to people that I absolutely know. This will scratch their itch. And because of Zoom, it doesn't have to be just here in Central Ohio. It can be anywhere. You can pass one of our talks along to a friend on YouTube or on Facebook. So anyway, our community, we share this same vision of a world that works for everyone. And what we say at home office is that the Centers for Spiritual Living are locally focused. We're locally focused and globally expressed. So we focus locally. We have centers. In fact, I wanted to give you some statistics, which I thought was very interesting. The beginning of last year, so the beginning of 2020, here are some statistics. There are 358 spiritual living centers around the world. We have 46 focus or virtual ministries. We have 44 teaching chapters and 78 study groups. The Science of Mind, which I brought to show you, our Science of Mind magazine goes out to 55,000 people a month. We have 888 ministers. That's going to be important for what I'm going to say here in a few minutes. We have 2,547 practitioners, and practitioners are people who have studied and embodied the principles and have shown them to demonstrate in their lives. And they have been trained on how to guide other people to use the principles in their lives. So this is a global organization. And I want to talk about that idea of locally focused. I want to talk about our community. As many of you know, people come and go. They come and go in our community and different communities for all kinds of different reasons. Here in our community, in the fall of 2019, Rev Ami, our founding and senior minister, retired. And now, this being the winter of 2021, we are getting ready to post our job application for our next senior minister. That should be going out, gosh, in the next couple of weeks. That's what we're thinking. We've worked really hard on this. We also had an interim minister for about a year, Reverend Gregory Toole, who's helped us to transition from Rev Ami to our next senior minister. And this job posting, we call it an open pulpit because we have an open pulpit. This job opportunity, this job posting should go up, like I said, in the next couple of weeks. So what you see here and what you see in our community are all volunteers, including me. We are all volunteers. Most of us have full-time or part-time jobs in addition to this. And I have to say that what we've been able to maintain during this COVID pandemic, not having a senior minister, is really amazing. I really think that it speaks to that place of high consciousness. It speaks to that place where people are committed. There's such an amazing group of people committed to this philosophy, committed to these principles, committed to this community, that they continue to show up, volunteering their time talent and treasure. Continue to show up week after week. And if you're one of those people, I just want to say thank you. I am committed to this philosophy. I'm committed to this community. I just want to say thank you and acknowledge you. And I also want to open up the idea and the possibility is if you want to become more involved in our community or more involved with CCSL, please let us know. There are lots and lots of ways to get involved. And in fact, we have an annual meeting coming up in the next couple months, and we are going to have some openings on some cores. And what a core is, it is a group of people that have been nominated and elected to serve on one of our many cores. If you're interested in serving on one of those, you can talk to Joanie Bauman, she's our practitioner today, or Ann Strayer, another practitioner, or Kristen Wilcock. Okay. Getting involved. I remember one time, Jessie Powers, who's a local musician here, she and I were talking about this a couple years ago. And she said, community is where we soften our rough edges. And I have never forgot about that. And I think that it's true. We practice this philosophy, we practice these principles, and we soften our rough edges. I think in our community, we do a really good job of practicing these principles. We practice love and compassion and forgiveness, and of course, faith. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you? Oh yes, so the people that you see doing the services, putting the services together and continuing to maintain the community and help the community move forward. We are all volunteers except for Robin. I wanted to say that because she is, thank God, thank goodness, thank everything, she is with us. She is actually she is on payroll, and she does amazing things for us. So there's a quote from a book called Creating the Beloved Community by Jim Lockard. And he says, I see the beloved community as people on a spiritual pathway who seek a closer relationship with God, who will take their spiritual awareness into the world to be examples of love and compassion in action. So if you've chosen the science of mind path up the mountain, and not to say that you can't be on 2 different paths or 3 or 4 different paths, but if you've chosen the science of mind principles, the science of mind path to go up that mountain, and you're a part of our community, and you feel this calling to be more involved, we would love to have you. We need you. We need each other in this community. So let's go back to where we began with the principle of we believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God are one. And we believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. Let's look at that last line again. I love this part. The one who feels the indwelling presence. So I encourage you to court this. Sometimes I think about courting the presence. So to court this indwelling presence, to take time in your mornings or in your evenings during your day to stop and to breathe and to commune with the divine, because the divine is within you. To use your spiritual mind treatments, our affirmative prayers, to awaken yourself to your own spiritual magnificence, and to awaken yourself to your own personal power, to co-create the life that you want to live or that you're here to live. I encourage you to take time to read something spiritual. It doesn't have to be religious science. it could be the Bible, it could be the Upanishads, it could be the Old Testament, it could be any sort of spiritual writing. There's so much richness in this world. This is your spiritual practice. Make sure you're getting your spiritual nourishment. I know before I became a minister, I taught classes, religious science classes for 10 years, 3 classes a quarter, or not a quarter, but 3 classes in quarters. So from fall to the spring, I'm also a teacher, so it was a natural fit for me. But for 10 years, I taught class. And I remember telling the students that it's almost like on Sundays, it's where the minister does their work, but in class is where we do our work. So I would also open that up to, in our spiritual practice, that's where we do our work. That's where we commune with the divine. And your silent time and your quiet time, but also with other people too. A little bit hard right now because of COVID. But just, I encourage you, even if it's for 30 seconds, to close your eyes, to quiet that mind chatter, that monkey mind, and to listen and to be and to allow that goodness that is God that wants to give to you, to become that receptor of your good just because you were born. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to prove it. There is good in the world, and I can use it, and it can use me. So this is that idea of practical spirituality. I love this idea of practical spirituality. We practice that we're part of a one global family, and we practice it at a local level, at a CCSL local family. So I also want to go back now as I close to that question I asked you in the beginning. That question of, why are you tuning in? What is your desire? What is your intention? As you said it at the beginning of the talk, the answer to that, or the fulfillment of your intention, didn't come from anything I said or anything that you may have seen on the chat. It came from within you. And if you still haven't seen a manifestation of your intention, I encourage you to go within, because that's where it's going to show up. It may be inspired by something you see or something you hear, but where it occurs is within, and that's because the divine is within you. You can turn within to that place that knows you. Ernest Holmes says we have a companion that's always with us. And this might be a good time to talk about this quickly, because of so many of us are quarantined. Ernest Holmes tells us that there is an inner friend that's closer than our breath. The answers, I'm going to tell you, the answers are within us. That friend, as Dr. Ernest Holmes told us, is within us. Comfort within us. Love, peace, and joy. So let's take this into prayer. As I put my hands on my heart, like Kristen encouraged us to do in the meditation, I speak my word as I recognize that God is everywhere. Out there, up there, down there, around there, all places. And God is within. God is closer than my heartbeat. God is closer than my breath. God is that animating force that sees out from behind my eyes, that hears from behind, that hears with the inner ear. It's the animating force that beats my heart. It's this place that I feel right here and right now in my body that feels like love and comfort and joy and compassion. It's that place right now that I'm having this visceral experience, this mystical experience of it as me and me of it as that Mobius that goes and comes and goes and comes. And what I know right now is that this mystical experience is available to everyone hearing my voice. And I breathe. And I claim for each and every person here this personal experience of God as them right now. I claim an opening up, a letting go, and a surrender to that which I trust. It is this God, this oneness, this infinite mind, this Holy Spirit, the Gaia. For it is me and I am it, and it is love and it is good. And I claim this for each and every person hearing my voice. I claim this for our center, and I claim this for our global family. That love is the way, that peace is the word, and that joy is the experience, because God is and I am. And so I release this treatment into the law, knowing it always returns to me, pressed down, shaken up, and overflowing with this, and yet even more. I release it with a grateful heart and say thank you. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being with us. It was funny when I was praying like that, I was thinking, okay, Minister, you're done. You're done. I could have just kept going and going and going. So now it is the time for the giving of our gifts. Thank you for the ways that you are continuing to support and honor yourself and our communities by the way you've been giving. It is important, even though we're on Zoom, we still have bills to pay. We still have things, financial commitments that we need to satisfy. So your donations are important because it helps us do that, which also then helps us fulfill our vision statement of a world that works for everyone at our local level. And as we engage with that law of circulation, we remember that God is our source and that money is just simply God circulating in energy in the form of money. So please say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
She bakes a bank, she bakes a banks. Mama is home, she steadily overflows. She bakes a bank, she then assumes she's gonna float. Mama is home, mama is finally home. Ooh, she bakes a bank, she bakes a bank, she bakes a bank. Mama is home, she steadily overflows. She bakes a bank, she then assumes she's gonna float. Mama is home, mama is finally home. She bakes a bank, she bakes a bank, she bakes a bank. Mama is home, she steadily overflows. She bakes a bank, she then assumes she's gonna flow. Mama is home, mama is finally home. Ah, you cannot hold me in your chains, I get no river. I'm in a flow, don't you know? You cannot hold me on the storm, it's a ranger. I'm in a flow, don't you know? You cannot hold me in your chains, I get no river. I'm in a flow, don't you know? You cannot hold me on the storm, it's a ranger. I'm in a flow, don't you know?
I am so grateful for our celebration today and all who contribute to and participate in this service. As Reverend Amy mentioned, there are many people who regularly give their time and their talents joyously, and I am so grateful. All of our divine souls generate this love and intelligence that flows between us, and our oneness is shining forth. I know that the gifts presented here are given and received with love, joy, and a sense of abundance and prosperity of infinite source. Thankful that we are all one, and for the many gifts we bring. Together we sing.
And so it is, and so we let it be. And so it is, and so we let it be.
So I'd like to thank our practitioners. Thank you, Kristen Peairs, for the meditation and for holding High Watch today. Thank you, Joanie Bauman, for assisting us today in our service. Thank you, Carisa Holmes, for the reading. Thank you, Matt Vidal, for moderating our YouTube channel. Thank you, Robin Brookhouse, for hosting our Zoom. And thank you to our song leader, Carisa Holmes. Thank you to our center trio, Tony Bernardi on piano, Joe Nelson on drums, Steve Parakis on bass. They've all collaborated their musical talents to provide the music for us today. So thank you all, and thank you all who are here joining us for our Sunday celebration. If you are here for the first time and you are new to us, we'd like to send you some information about who we are and our philosophy. So if you would like to receive that, please either call the office or send us a note on Facebook. So also one more thing before I move on to our blessing. If you're not receiving the information about our services, we send out a weekly email. Please, you can also call the office or you can send us a message on Facebook because we'd like to get that word out to everyone. And feel free to forward it to other people that you think might be interested in our community. So please say our blessing with me. Thank you, Robin, for bringing it up on the screen. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is.
Take it home. Take it home. Make it your own, on your own. Let me see you move it. Take it home. It's for you, yeah. Take it home. Whatever's true, yeah. Make it your own.
is good, all that is true. Take it home with you. Take it home. Take it home. Make it your own, all your own.
Let me see you move it.
Take it home.
It's for you, yeah.
Take it home.
Whatever's true, yeah.
Make it your own, all your own. All that is good, all that is true. Oh, please take it with you when you go. Please take it with you when you go. Oh, all that is good, all that is true. Take it home with you.
Peace, blessings. Have a beautiful week.